From her wrestling inspirations to her heroes outside of the ring, to the events in her life that have led her to where she is today, WWE's Rhea Ripley is just as interesting out of character as she is exciting to watch between the ropes. Get your black lipstick and grab the nearest guy with a mullet then, because it's time to talk about Mammy. I'm Gareth, this is What Culture, and here are 10 fascinating backstage WWE facts about Rhea Ripley. Number 10, she takes after her own mammy. Rhea Ripley was born Demi Bennett on October 11th, 1996 in Adelaide, South Australia. As a child, she enjoyed a variety of sports, before settling on a career in the squared circle by joining local promotion Riot City Wrestling in 2014. There's not much information out there about her early life, particularly who her family are. There were recently seen celebrating with Ripley after she beat Nia Jax at Elimination Chamber in Perth, but other than that, there's not much to go on really. However, Rhea did speak about her mother in an interview with Sporting News in 2019, and let's just say she had interesting things to say about her. "My mom is a very scary human being," she said. "I get a lot of that intensity and snap straight into it from her. She's legit terrifying." The multi-time champion made it clear that she was saying this in good spirits, referring to her mum as a lovely girl, but she also pulled no punches in explaining that when Mama Ripley gets mad, she is a force to be reckoned with. Maybe this is why fans haven't heard much about her. Number 9, a big breakup changed her life. At time of recording, Ripley is currently in a relationship with fellow Aussie and AEW wrestler Buddy Matthews. They've been dating since 2022, and in August 2023, they announced their engagement, which made everyone except Dominic Mysterio very happy. However, like with most people, Rhea's romantic life hasn't always been so peachy. Again, speaking to Sporting News, Ripley revealed that a previous relationship broke down just as she was making a name for herself in WWE. In Ripley's own words, "Before the second Mae Young Classic, I went through a breakup with my partner, who I was with for a few years, and he moved here with me." She explained that this made her very angry with the world, but eventually she used her heartbreak as motivation to progress in her career. "I guess I just stopped caring about what everyone thought because I had so many negative things coming my way. I just started blocking it and was like, I don't care. Then I went out in the Mae Young Classic, the second one, and had that I don't care attitude, and everyone seemed to really get behind it," she said. What a great way of looking at things. But I want to know right now, what has been your favorite WWE Rhea Ripley match so far? Was it her Charlotte Flair war at WrestleMania 39 or something else? You let me know in the comment section down below. Number 8, her unlikely childhood idol. Now this section will make anybody who remembers the Attitude Era feel incredibly old, so apologies in advance. As established, Ripley was born in 1996, so she would have been a young kid during the 2000s. This means that her initial influences were not guys like Stone Cold Steve Austin or The Rock, or even Trish Stratus or Lita. Instead, Rhea cites none other than The Miz as an inspiration. "I absolutely love him," she told Revolver in 2019. "He's so snarky and that's who I want to be. I want to have cool comebacks and get people to listen to me and be invested in me." Thanks to Miz's longevity, he was still working for WWE when Rhea first arrived on the scene. This has led to some awkward backstage encounters between the two. "He's never brought it up with me though, and I'm terrified for that day because I don't know what I'm gonna say," she told the Under the Ring podcast. Hopefully he'd just say she's awesome, right? Number 7, she borrowed her entrance from a metal singer. One look at the Nightmare will tell you that her favorite type of music is probably not cheesy pop. Ripley is a massive fan of heavy metal, having spent her youth listening to bands like Papa Roach, Motionless in White, and Of Mice and Men. She carries her metalheadness with her in her ring attire too, which looks like it comes straight out of a Judas Priest video, and even her entrance hints at her preferred genre. For a start, her song is sung by Ash Costello, the lead singer of the band New Year's Day. There's also the big old stomp that Ripley does to set off her pyro, which she admits she borrowed from Suicide Silence frontman Mitch Lucker. "Yeah, it's the Lucker stomp," she told Louder Sound in 2023. "I still have my Mitch Lucker memorial shirt that came out ages ago, and it's still my favorite shirt." Lucker sadly passed away in 2012, an event Ripley describes as horrible in the same interview. The fact that she continues to honor his memory every time she makes an entrance is a testament to how important music is to the superstar, and how dearly she holds the memories of her childhood. Brings a tear to your eye. Number 6, she was banned from having upper body tattoos. Ripley has arguably one of the strongest personal brands in WWE today. Her aesthetic is simple. She's a goth chick who loves thick makeup, black leather, and spikes. It gets gets across her character extremely effectively, and it's part of why she's such a big old star. Another part of the star's look is tattoos. Lots and lots and lots of tattoos. According to various sources, Rhea sports around 20 tats all over her body. However, at one point she was not allowed to get any in a certain place. In an interview given to Talk Sport in 2020, Ripley said that she wasn't permitted to have any tattoos on her upper body, per orders from the powers that be. Unfortunately for me, WWE isn't clearing my upper body, she said, before explaining that she wore leg pants so she wouldn't have to get the ink on her legs cleared. Hopefully I can convince people to let me get my arm sleeves and other stuff, but we'll see how that goes, she remarked. Thankfully, WWE did soften up on this rule, and now Rhea's body art is there for all to see, and it's pretty badass. Number 5, her and Tony's matching tattoos. Sticking with tats for now, and all of Rhea's have a story to tell, as they were all chosen for their specific significance to the Eradicator. From reminders of her past to nods to her favourite bands, Ripley's ink is all meticulously laid out, including a nod to a friend with who she came up with in the business. Ripley shares a matching tattoo with current AEW wrestler Tony Storm. The design is a set of Roman numerals, which may look random to the untrained eye, but are actually the date of Evolution, WWE's first all-female pay-per-view from 2018. Rhea wrestled in the show's dark match, retaining the NXT UK Women's Championship over Dakota Kai, while Storm beat Io Shirai to win the Mae Young Classic. Ripley and Storm both share October birthdays and were stars of the early days of NXT UK. Ripley also beat Storm to become the brand's inaugural women's champ, only for Tony to then win it from her at TakeOver Blackpool. Interestingly, Storm's recent feud with Deonna Purrazzo also revolved around matching tattoos. Does that mean we're going to see Ripley to AEW rather soon then? Well, probably not. Number 4, she wanted to get tattooed during a match. This trifecta of tattoo trivia ends with an absolutely insane idea that would have seen Mami get some new ink under utterly bizarre circumstances. Whilst down in NXT, Ripley was involved in a feud with Bianca Belair. She even squared off against the EST on opposing teams in a War Games match, which left both women beaten and scarred. However, if Ripley had gotten her way, Belair would have left an entirely different mark on her body. As she told Flash Morgan Webster on his podcast, the star pitched the idea of her opponent tattooing her with a mechanical needle during a match together. I wanted to get a battery-powered tattoo gun, and I wanted Bianca to rip the fishnet in my pants, and I wanted Bianca to tattoo lips on my leg while everyone held me down, were her words. She then explained that officials suggested that this may not be the most hygienic thing in the world, to which she allegedly responded, "Yeah, true. That is putting it lightly." Cooler heads prevailed, and this mad idea was permanently shelved. Number 3, Beth Phoenix helped her get into the Judgment Day. It might seem like a lifetime ago now, but the early incarnation of Judgment Day looked very different to how it does now. The faction was initially formed by Edge when he recruited Damian Priest at WrestleMania 38. Ripley joined shortly thereafter, but it was only after Finn Balor helped kick Edge out that the stable as it is today began to really take shape. Rhea was a natural fit for the group, already possessing the grungy exterior needed to fit its spooky vibe. Also, she added some depth to their numbers, allowing the mostly male unit to branch out into an entirely different area of the roster. In an interview with WWE's The Bump, Edge's wife Beth Phoenix revealed that it was she who put in a good word for Mami. Who do you think of the female roster who could really benefit from having a bigger platform? Mrs. Copeland was reportedly asked by her husband, who has all of that talent but just hasn't had the opportunity to shine in a big way. Phoenix suggested the young woman from Oz, and the rest is history. Number 2, she's had reconstructive surgery on her ear. As already discussed, Rhea's goth look is an essential part of her character, which is why she wrestles with full makeup, full leather, and a full set of piercings. Unfortunately, this bold decision came back to haunt her during a match with Io Shirai. Whilst challenging the modern-day Io Sky for the NXT Women's Championship in November 2020, Ripley was dealt a grotesque injury after having 5 earrings ripped out during the bout. According to Fightful, she suffered multiple contusions and abrasions on both ears after losing her jewelry, with doctors needing to graft pieces of skin from other parts of her ears to make them look normal again. If anyone needs to be sick, then please vacate the room now. There are buckets outside, probably. I don't know. Unfortunately, this would not be the last time Ripley was done in by her piercings during a match. In 2023, whilst facing Natalya on Raw, Rhea's smiley, a piercing of the inner lip, was completely torn out, leaving her visibly bloody on live TV. You'd have thought she'd learned after the last time time, but clearly not. Number 1. Claudio Castagnoli helped her win a championship. On the December 18, 2019 episode of NXT, Ripley defeated Shayna Baszler to end her mammoth reign with the NXT Women's Championship and become the new top dog in the black and gold. This was vindication for the former NXT UK champion, who had become a massive star on the US brand in a relatively short period of time. This was a truly special moment, one she had a little bit of help in putting together. The finish of Ripley vs Baszler saw the challenger hit the champion with a top rope version of her finisher, the Riptide, to score the pin. Rhea was having trouble working out how to do the move off the top when she got some help from current AEW star Claudio Castagnoli, known in WWE as Cesaro. "My finisher Riptide is hard enough to do in the ring, let alone on 2 little ropes," is what Ripley told Sports Illustrated. "We were at the PC struggling with it and he, Cesaro, came out of nowhere to help." Does that make Ripley a satellite member of the Blackpool Combat Club? Yep, yes it does, just don't tell Buddy. Or Dom. Or anyone. Did you like this 10 fascinating backstage WWE facts about Rhea Ripley video? Well, check out the 10 fascinating WWE backstage facts about Trish Stratus too. Another badass woman with one hell of a story. Bye bye!